One viral video just laid out the entire domino theory for how XRP saves the world. But there is a critical piece that video left out, and if you do not understand it, you could make the worst financial decision of your life at the worst possible moment. Let me show you what is actually coming. If you are serious about XRP and you want analysis that goes beyond the hype, subscribe right now, because what I am about to break down is the part nobody else on YouTube is willing to touch. I have spent the last 48 hours digging into the data, and what I found changes everything about how you should be thinking about the next 6 months. So here is the situation. You have probably seen this domino theory floating around where oil prices spike, Japan is forced to raise interest rates, the reverse carry trade unwinds, and XRP becomes the global liquidity solution that saves the entire financial system. And look, the thesis is compelling. I am not going to sit here and tell you it is wrong. The logic chain from oil shock to Japan rate hike to global credit crisis to stablecoin backstop to XRP as the bridge asset, it actually makes sense when you follow the money. But here is what nobody is addressing. Jake Claver himself said it plainly. He said there is going to be pressure across the board on all asset classes, equities, gold, bonds, treasuries, all of it dropping. So answer me this. If every single asset class crashes during the unwind, what exactly happens to XRP during that liquidation event? Does XRP magically hover above the chaos while everything else collapses? Or does it crash first before it becomes the solution? That is the question that video raised but never answered, and it is the most important question you can ask right now as an XRP holder. Let me walk you through what the data actually shows, because this is where it gets fascinating. Right now, as I am recording this, XRP is trading around $1.38. That is down roughly 40% from where we started, 2026. The price has been getting hammered while simultaneously some of the most bullish institutional developments in XRP history are playing out in real time. 7 spot XRP ETFs are actively trading in the United States with over $1 billion in combined assets under management. These funds have pulled in approximately $1.25 billion in cumulative inflows, and they have locked up over 780 million XRP tokens in institutional custody. Goldman Sachs is now the single largest institutional holder of XRP ETFs. Let that sink in for a second. Goldman Sachs, and yet the price is sitting at $1.38. Now here is where it gets even more interesting. Exchange reserves for XRP have dropped roughly 55% since late 2025. According to CryptoQuant, the proportion of XRP held on exchanges is in what they call the bottom zone. 200 million XRP just flowed off Binance in a single move, pushing the exchange supply ratio even lower. Wallets holding 1 million or more XRP have hit an all-time high of 2,700 addresses. The whales are not selling. They are accumulating at these levels and moving tokens into private custody. If you are watching this and you are thinking, wait, institutions are buying whales or accumulating, exchange supply is at multi-year lows, and the price is still dropping, that does not make sense. Well, congratulations, you just identified the exact same cognitive dissonance that the entire XRP community is feeling right now. And understanding why this disconnect exists is the key to surviving what comes next. Tell me in the comments, how long have you been accumulating XRP, and are you still buying at these levels? Drop your answer below, because I want to see where this community stands. Here is the honest truth, and I am not going to sugarcoat it. If the reverse carry trade unwinds the way the domino theory predicts, there will almost certainly be a period where XRP drops along with everything else. This is not bearish, this is just how liquidity crises work. When there is a global margin call, hedge funds and institutions do not get to choose which assets they sell. They sell whatever they can sell fast enough to meet the call. XRP is liquid. XRP trades 24/7. That means in a panic, it becomes a source of emergency liquidity, just like it did during every previous market crash. If you are not prepared for that, you will panic sell at the absolute worst moment and miss everything that comes after. But here is the part that the domino theory gets right, and this is why I remain overwhelmingly bullish on XRP long term. The infrastructure being built right now is not speculative. It is real and it is accelerating. Ripple Prime went live on the DTCC National Securities Clearing Corporation on March 2nd of this year. That is the clearinghouse that processes virtually every stock trade in the United States. RLUSD just crossed $1.58 billion in market cap, making it the fastest growing institutional stablecoin in the world, with transaction volumes hitting $3.5 billion in the last 30 days alone. The Genius Act is signed into law. The Clarity Act has roughly 70% odds of passing through the Senate this year. And the Bank of Japan, which meets on March 19th, currently sits at 0.75% interest rates, with a Bloomberg survey showing 37% of economists now expecting an April rate hike. That is up from just 17% 2 months ago. The dominoes are lining up exactly the way the theory predicted. If this is opening your eyes, smash that like button because more people need to understand this. So what is the framework? What do you actually do with this information? Look, I am not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice, but I can share the framework I am personally using to think through this. The way I see it, there are 3 phases you need to prepare for. Phase 1 is the dip. If the Bank of Japan hikes rates aggressively and the carry trade unwinds, expect a broad market sell-off that drags everything down, including crypto, including XRP. This is the phase where most people lose their position because they panic. Phase 2 is the stabilization. This is where stablecoins step in. The entire thesis behind the Genius Act is that US-regulated stablecoins backed by treasuries will absorb the selling pressure in the bond market. The estimated demand is around $2.3 trillion in new treasury purchases to back stablecoin issuance from banks like Bank of America, Citigroup, and others. RLUSD is positioned as a key player here. Phase 3 is the repricing. Once the bond market stabilizes and the new infrastructure takes over, this is where XRP as the bridge asset for cross-border settlement gets repriced to reflect its actual utility. The exchange supply is already at historic lows. ETF demand is persistent even during the drawdown. And when $2.3 trillion worth of stablecoin transactions need to move across borders efficiently, XRP's value proposition becomes undeniable. Now, here is something I have not seen anyone else talk about, and it might be the most important data point in this entire analysis. Since the start of 2026, roughly 3.8 billion XRP have flowed from whale wallets into Binance. 3.8 billion. Your first instinct hearing that number is to think massive sell-off incoming, right? But here is what is actually happening. Despite billions in whale deposits, Binance's XRP reserves have barely changed. That means buyers are absorbing the supply almost as fast as it comes in. And total exchange held XRP across all platforms has continued to decline. The sell pressure that everyone is afraid of is being met with equal or greater buying pressure, and nobody is talking about it. This is what accumulation looks like in real time. It is messy, it is scary, the price goes sideways or down, but the underlying supply dynamics are shifting dramatically in favor of holders. Do you think the reverse carry trade actually plays out this year? Comment yes or no below and give me your reasoning, because I want to hear both sides of this. And I want to address one more thing that the original video touched on but did not fully explain. The claim that the Bank of Japan is testing crypto-based payment systems for their national currency. I have looked into this, and here is what is actually happening. Japan has been exploring central bank digital currency pilots since 2021, and SBI Holdings, which is Ripple's largest strategic partner in Asia, has been deeply involved in digital payments infrastructure across Japan for years. Japan's financial services agency has consistently been one of the most crypto-progressive regulators in the world. So when people say Japan and XRP have a connection, they are not making it up. The institutional relationships are real. The regulatory framework is real. But I want to be honest with you, the direct connection between a Bank of Japan rate hike and XRP being selected as the specific liquidity solution is still a thesis, not a confirmed outcome. The difference between a thesis and a fact matters. The fundamentals support the thesis strongly, but treating it as guaranteed is how people get wrecked. The smart play is to position yourself so you win. If the thesis plays out while protecting yourself, if the timeline is longer than expected. Look, at the end of the day, the XRP domino theory is one of the most compelling macro narratives in crypto right now. The oil situation is real. Japan's rate decisions are real. The reverse carry trade risk is real. The stablecoin infrastructure being built is real. But the part nobody else will tell you is that there is almost certainly pain between here and the payoff. And if you are not mentally and financially prepared for that pain, you will not make it to the other side. The holders who understand the three-phase framework, who have conviction backed by data, not just emotion, those are the ones who come out of this transformed. Share this with one other XRP holder who needs to hear this, because what is coming will test everyone, and the people who are informed will have the advantage. Subscribe and tap that notification bell for daily XRP analysis that gives you an actual plan, not just hype. And if you want to go deeper, join my membership for exclusive price analysis that I cannot share publicly. I will see you in the next one.